She knows him. That phony knows him.
Knows who?
Danny Marconi, that's who.
Who is Danny Marconi?
Remember that old guy in the nursing home? She's mooning over a picture of him. I don't like where this is going, not one bit.
Okay, yeah, I guess my memory fails me. So the guy in the nursing home is Danny Marconi. Why don't we go there and see him, like, right now? Figure that would be good for him, right? Oh. Well, that's a bummer. Let's talk to the reception. They should know where to find him.
Hi again.
Hello.
Do you have a patient here named Danny Marconi?
Yes, we do. Are you a relative?
No, I'm just hoping to ask him some questions.
Oh, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this, but he passed away earlier this afternoon.
I see.
It was peaceful. He just went quietly in his sleep.
Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, good for him. What do we come here for anyway? Come on, let's blow.
Sorry to bother you. So, do you want to talk about it?
It's ancient history. There's nothing to say. Let's just get a move on.
Okay, so that... yeah. Following that trail was very much a literal dead end. I'm sorry to say. But let's find out about Lisa and Danny. If that's okay.
Sorry, I'm not seeing clients tonight.
Do you know a Danny Marconi?
What about him?
Well, she's not going to just let us in like that, so let's do the second option here.
I know he died this afternoon.
And?
And I wanted to talk to you about him.
Yesterday, you threatened me. Today, you want to talk about my grandfather.
Wait, grandfather?
He was your grandfather?
Yes? If you didn't know that, why are you here asking about him?
Grandfather? I can't believe it.
Well,
Well, this could go either way. I'm going with number 2.
We have a mutual friend.
really? And who might that be?
It's complicated.
Uh-huh. I ask you again. How do you know my grandfather?
Maybe not.
A little help here.
Just tell her this.
He
Okay.
used to be a tailor.
There are a million ways you could have known that.
Fine. Tell her everyone called him Danny Boy and he hated it.
What?
Just say it.
Everyone called him Danny Boy, and he hated it.
Excuse me?
He drank whiskey straight with no ice. He put salt on everything. Played the clarinet like he was born with it in his hand. He would have sold his soul to play at the supper club. And he was madly, madly in love with a singer named Linda.
Madly in love with a singer named Linda.
Get in.
Linda was my grandmother. She died before I was born.
Thank heaven for small favors. Seeing you would have broken her heart.
You're for real, aren't you? You're one of them?
Yes, I am one of them.
Them?
No, I'm not falling for that. I've been nothing but loyal over the years. You have no reason to test me like this.
Look at her, shaking like a leaf.
Just because there was that bit of trouble with the reporter,
You mean his murder?
I am not responsible for that. Why now? If what I suspect is true, you people have looked the other way for years. Why the change of heart?
Because it's personal.
It's personal now.
Personal? Since when do you people care about personal?
Look, I'm just a friend of Jeremy's. I want to know what happened, that's all. Whoever Gavin is, he needs to be stopped.
I want to believe you.
Then what's the problem?
Look, what if I tell you my suspicions and I'm wrong? You think I can just walk away?
So what do you suggest?
I'll give you the names of the last 2 clients I referred to Gavin. That's harmless enough. You look into them. You find anything, maybe we can talk.
Well, that is fair enough. That should give us enough to go on. Let's accept her terms.
Fine, give them to me.
Here.
Thanks. I will get to the bottom of this.
I hope so. But until you do, leave me out of it. Now get out. I've done all I can.
Is this what you lived for, Danny? Was it worth it? You were a good man, Danny. You deserved a better legacy than this. Well, maybe we both did.
So it looks like we've got to track down these 2 names.
Huh? Oh, sure. Who are they?
We've got a Tiffany Walters. She lives on Thompson Street, just south of Washington Square.
And the other?
Jamie Graham. She's a student up at Columbia.
Didn't you go to school there?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay, now, you can actually do these in, follow up these 2 investigations in any order, or you can do them at the same time. However, I'm going to follow my guide here, and my guide does Jamie's investigation first.
Sneaking through the Columbia campus at night isn't how I envisioned coming back here. Keypad locks. Those are new.
Oh, really? So, Joey, care to tell me what's on that note?
Not from out here, I don't. Hello? Looks like the coast is clear. It says, remember Waterloo.
Remember Waterloo. Oh boy, my history is not so awesome.
There's a keypad on this door.
But might have been this? No. Okay, I'm not even going... Huh. Hang on just a minute. Okay, well, I'm obviously guessing. Aha. Then, now I look at my guide and... it's as easy as that. 1815, that was the year of the Battle of Waterloo, where Napoleon got his ass handed to him, or rather got the asses of his many thousands of soldiers handed to him.
No point. It doesn't even have a tape inside. It must have sentimental value of some kind. This is really old. It's got a cassette player and everything. Does anyone listen to cassette tapes anymore? It must be something she had as a child.
Fun fact, I think I actually have a cassette tape lying around somewhere today.
Ouch. Those heels look like they'd hurt.
Oh boy. That kind of a girl, was she?
A set of drawers. Looks like a poster for a band called Epileptic Fish? I've heard of those guys. I'm not sure they play together anymore.
Epileptic Fish. You should actually remember that. That is a hint for a puzzle
Just some
soon coming up.
textbooks covering a variety of subjects. They seem to be the only books in the room. You would think a college kid would have more than this. This looks like a class schedule. I recognize a bunch of the course codes from when I studied here.
You remember that after all this time?
It wasn't that long ago.
If you say so.
Let's see. She's mostly taking English and history classes.
Uh-huh.
Now this is interesting. She's taking the same writing class that I did.
That's interesting.
Well, it is to me. She's even got the same professor.
Well, how about that? We could ring her up.
Pretty
and
typical for a college kid, I guess.
I don't know. That is some bat-shaped object lying there. Let's just leave it with a little list. It bites us and makes us into a superhero. Okay, so to the meat and potatoes. The laptop. Oh, really? I'm not even going to try guessing that password. So let's just call up Miss Appleton. And here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Elaine Appleton?
That's me. Who's this?
Rosangela Blackwell. I was in your class around 10 years ago.
Rosangela. Yes, of course I remember you. It's been a long time. I saw you had a book published. Is that right?
Something like that. Do you have a few minutes?
Sure. What can I help you with?
Well, apparently it's been 10 years, so how does she remember?
I'm surprised you remember me after all this time.
Well, it was my first year as a professor, and you did stand out.
I did?
The coffee? The cup you spilled all over my desk?
Oh God, I completely forgot about that.
I didn't. I had to let those papers dry out all night.
Awkward. Somewhat.
I wanted to ask about a student of yours, Jamie Graham.
Oh, her, yes. So tragic what happened.
Tragic?
You mean you don't know? She died just last week.
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you. Did you know her well?
No, not really. But could I ask you some questions about her?
I'm not sure what I can tell you that I already didn't tell the police, but go ahead.
What can you tell me about Jamie?
I hate to speak ill of her, but she was a disappointment.
How so?
At first, she was very keen about her work. She was a brilliant writer, but that brilliance soon faded. By midterm, she'd show up for class late and hungover, when she showed up at all. And as for what she was wearing, well, let's just say it wasn't appropriate.
What made her brilliant?
She had a way of infecting you with her passion. When she loved something, she could make you love it too. She had a keen interest in Middle Eastern history, so it was no surprise that most of her work had Middle Eastern themes to them. But as I said, that faded with time. She stopped having a passion for much of anything, I think. Such a waste.
You said she faded. What do you think happened to her?
I don't know. I wish I did. At the time, I figured it was the typical story. Young, sheltered girl comes to the city and gets overwhelmed with the freedom of it all. Most adjust fine. Some, well, don't. I could tell she was troubled, but I learned long ago that it isn't my place to reach out. I remember you being a bit closed off, once upon a time.
Yes, well, we all change.